Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
Pilots might have something in common when it comes to getting to work.
Hey guys, I'm trying to fix something that I should have done before starting the video, but I didn't. So let's go. How the military... Alright, so I have a few... Well, that one would be good too. I want to watch some British Forces News videos, so I picked two. They're usually pretty short. 5 minutes and 3 minutes, so let's go. I haven't done any video in 2 days because of Thanksgiving. And I know 2 days isn't a long time for most people, but I usually watch... I react to videos every day, so it feels a little weird for me. Let's go.
Pothole.
How would the military work together to repair missile strikes on a runway? That actually sounds pretty interesting. Exercise Cerberus. Is that the three-headed dog at the gates of hell? Puts armies' warfighting ability... It's army stuff, okay, guys? Let's go.
You and this F-35 pilot might have something in common. When it comes to getting to work, potholes can stop you in your tracks. But if a military runway takes damage, the RAF needs it fixed and fast to get its jets up and respond.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions we're presented with. Any munition could cause damage on an airfield, whether it is a missile strike or whether it's just something placed on a runway somewhere that causes a crater. Having that ability to repair that surface, to be able to allow our F-35s to get off the ground and go and fly, go and fight wherever they need to go to, is exactly what we need.
Question, guys. Oh,
And that's what the Royal Engineers bring.
15.
what the war engineers bring. What about this? Okay. What about setting up two runways relatively close to each other, like within like 100 to 500 meters of each other, but create two runways, but cover the secondary runway with a giant tarp, and then cover it with whatever dirt is around the runways, so that it becomes invisible, and that in case the enemy bombs your first runway, then you can uncover the tarp of the second runway that is covered by soil, and so it's indistinguishable from the rest of the area you're around, and then use that. So just create two runways everywhere you need a runway. Does that make sense? Am I onto something there? Just create... I explained myself, right? Just like two runways, tarp one over, cover it with dirt from your... I explained it, right? Just in case.
Meters squared craters have been dug into the ground at this fast jet base, simulating the kind of damage a missile could deal. Engineers have 8 hours or less to smooth it over.
The recce gets conducted twice, in the air, and then it'll be done by an armoured heavy, checking inside the crater for any explosives that haven't gone off, and then there'll obviously be a lot of debris around it. What'll happen then is he'll spread that debris
back into the
and
hole,
then move that to the side, so then a surveyor can go in. We was basically here for the last 2 nights, 2 craters in total. One was a dirty bowl. Basically, any material that's just come out of the crater gets pushed back in for a quick repair, the quickest repair you can possibly do. So that's an aircraft needing to land soon. It's a case of compacting it, then screeding it.
That thing just sounds heavy.
And then putting the mat on it. Clean ball is we take away all the material and bring fresh material in. A little bit more complicated. This is so you can put a mat down and there'd be more passes of an aircraft.
Efficiency is key to meet the deadline.
So once we've completed the crater...
Just before this gentleman talks, I was going to say, why not just fill the crater back in initially with the debris from the initial strike, but maybe that would create some air pockets that could compromise the runway and then destroy an aircraft. So maybe I'm wrong there.
Efficiency is key to meet the deadlines.
So once we've completed the crater, concurrently our field troops are going to build the bomb damage repair mat. We would roll it up in what would be like a bog roll kind of thing. We would then bring it to our crater, position it, and then it would get rolled out. We would then tension the mat itself, drill it down, securing the bolts, anchoring the mat down so that jets can actually land on it and enable their operations.
It takes Army engineers 3 months to train for this, but the Air Force needs to work with them too.
Whether it be just comms.
So even if it's not perfectly compact and you stretch this material over, it'll be okay?
So that jets can actually land on it and enable their operations.
It takes Army engineers 3 months to train for this, but the Air Force needs to work with them too.
Whether it be just comms within the base operating centre or reaching out to those teams that are going out and doing the recce's, we can then make a command call as to which craters need to be repaired based on our priorities.
Airfields can become prime targets in times of conflict, so both the RAF and the British Army are preparing for any possibility so the UK's next generation jets can stay in the fight. Tom Sable's BFBS Forces News, RAF Marham.
That was interesting. I mean, I asked all the questions I needed to ask during the video, so let's go on to the next one, guys. Exercise Cerberus. I believe, isn't that a name for the dog at, like, the Greek mythology dog to the gate of hell? Puts Army's warfighting ability to the test amid a changing battlefield. Sure, whatever. Let's watch.
The battlefield is changing.
Would appreciate any
And
comments,
that's why
guys,
these
as
British
always.
troops are in Germany.
In Germany.
The battlefield is changing, and that's why these British troops are in Germany. Exercise Cerberus 2024 is about ensuring the Army's warfighting armoured division, known as 3div, is ready for anything an enemy can throw at it. Including
What?
3div is ready for anything an enemy can throw at it. Warfighting armoured division, known as 3div, is ready for anything
Is ready for anything
an enemy can throw at it.
an enemy can throw at them. Okay, sorry.
Including drone warfare, which has come to define the war in recent conflicts.
We've taken all the lessons from Ukraine, particularly with drones, particularly with air defence. We've tried to incorporate that within the exercise design to try and replicate what our brigades might face should they deploy anywhere in the world, or particularly in Central Europe.
As horrible as the Ukraine-Russia conflict is, if I'm any other nation and I have anything to do with military, I am paying such close attention to this conflict from a non-humanitarian perspective. Like, please, as much of a humanitarian conflict as it is in Gaza and Israel or Ukraine and Russia, if I'm in charge of any country, it's military, I would love to have a portion of people leaving all morality aside and just paying attention to how the warfare is being fought, because a potential war in the future, you know this. I feel like I'm pointing out things that are obvious. A potential war in the future is going to be using things that you know what I'm saying, right? Obviously, you want people to look at current wars to see how you might have to fight wars in the future. I don't think I have to explain that. Sorry.
Should they deploy anywhere in the world, or particularly in Central Europe.
If you're wondering why our drone is all alone here on NATO's forward Holden base in Senelaga, a 120-acre training area, it's because this is about testing 3div's commanders in tactics, battlefield communications, and decision-making. Cerberus relies on a mostly simulated environment. As the lead exercise planner explains, it's mostly down to efficiencies.
The key challenge for this exercise is training the brigade headquarters. And they are absolutely deployed in the field. They are deployed in their headquarters as you would expect them to be. They're living under poncho, they're living in hard routine, eating rations as you would expect, and they're doing a great job. For them to be able to do that, they need the support from above them and underneath them, and the best way we can do that is by simulation.
Underneath them.
Units out in the field respond to the decisions made.
They're essentially almost playing an old-fashioned type Call of Duty, moving their icons around and following the orders that have been given to them.
This exercise is no small feat, taking a year of planning.
It's a 2-yearly centerpiece event where we test.
Okay. All right. I think calling that Call of Duty is a bit okay, never mind.
Taking a year of planning.
It's a 2-yearly centerpiece event where we test the fighting brigades of the British Army to prove that they are capable and competent in delivering warfighting outputs. So it's a really big deal for them to show that they can deliver the fighting outputs that the British Army and NATO need of them. And it also at the same time offers an opportunity for my headquarters to be tested and put through its paces as well. And all of that is in a NATO context, so really valuable, incredibly important, and it sets us up for delivering readiness to NATO.
A German brigade is helping Friedrich to sharpen interoperability between the allies.
I have to get him out of it. It's been a fantastic opportunity as NATO allies to work alongside a German brigade. Panzer 9, a fantastic organisation full of enthusiasm, but what it's been really important to do is test how we can work alongside them. The procedures, the communications and the drills to work seamlessly together to deliver lethality on the battlefield. So we've learned a great deal, but it's been a great experience as well, and I look forward to doing much more of it in the future, which is absolutely central to how we'll function as a part of NATO.
Okay. The thing that worries me as a part of working together as much as you can to create some sort of unified force within NATO to respond to some conflict if it breaks out, say between Russia. Obviously, the most probable opponent is Russia, but the problem I see with that is that I would much rather have individual countries within a military alliance to be able to operate on your own in an alliance, then cooperate together. That seems so much more efficient and superior to me than a bunch of countries that rely on the military operations within the alliance itself. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say? For instance, if you have 3 powers and the 3 of your powers want to join together into a military alliance, and then you start training as one alliance, right? That is reliant on the alliance itself to stick together. I see that as inferior to 3 individual powers that are great on their own, then joining a single alliance and training to work together. I think I explained that kind of well. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I would rather 3 parties that are able to work on their own and are very good on their own then train in one alliance, rather than 3 parties who don't know how to work on their own join an alliance and then try to train as one entity. Because, does that make sense? Please, someone tell me if you think that's stupid or wrong, or please tell me. Let me know.
It's a big
just makes sense to me
as well, but it's working already very fine from the very beginning, and each day is a learning day, and I think this makes the exercise very special.
And what about the language barrier?
Yeah, I think at least since the...
I'm just going to say it one more time. Take the United Kingdom, the USA, and Germany, okay? I would rather the United Kingdom be able to be able to fight on its own, Germany be able to fight on its own, the USA be able to fight on its own, then come together in an alliance and say, hey, we have 3 strong armies, let's create an alliance and make all 3 of our armies able to work together, rather than have the USA, Germany, and the United Kingdom come together and try to create a single fighting force. The former seems like much more reliable than the latter.
All the deployments.
Again, I have no military experience, nothing. please let me know if you disagree with that. Great.
I think at least since the all the deployments after 2011, English has become a standard in all European forces, and so also in the German forces. So I think all officers and staff officers really are required to have a high language or high language skills, especially in English. But also our NCOs are very well trained.
So, what do the Germans think of FreeDiv?
Oh, it's an absolutely good example because the integration, especially in my field of expertise, so the engineer stuff, it was just absolutely good. Brilliant to work with all the people. That some of them we know already from the integration of our battalion, also in the British forces. So this is a really good experience, and it's great to work with them together.
Simulations are just one aspect of training exercises like this, ensuring British troops are always ready to deliver lethality on the battlefield.
Is that OBS Studio? That looks just like the same video
Like this.
thing I use.
Ensuring British troops are always ready to deliver lethality on the battlefield. Alexander Walters, BFBS Forces News, Senelaga.
Very interesting. A little worrying. If I'm correct, it's worrying. If I'm incorrect, then tell me, please. I want to just make sure. I say this on a lot of my videos, but any videos I make, any reactions I create and then post on YouTube, I don't want people just agreeing with me. If what I say is correct to most of you, great. If it's not, please tell me and tell me where I'm wrong. I'm not saying you guys don't do this, you do, and I love you all for it in the comments. But I just want to reinforce that if you think what I say is stupid, call me out, please. And would appreciate any of your comments. I love you all. Hope you're all doing well. Would appreciate any comments down below. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time, all right? Bye, guys.